Welcome to another stock market analysis video, and here are the 3 stocks na pag-uusapan ko sa video na to. So there's a theme sa mga stocks na gusto kong pag-usapan for today. Tatlo silang mining stocks, specifically gold mining stocks. And the reason for this is because, una, sa lahat ng mga bumaba or nag-negative na mga stocks this past trading week, yung grabing tinamaan, itong mga gold stocks na to. And pangalawa, nakikita ako na may mga nagre-recommend, may mga pinag-uusapan na defensive daw yung gold mining stocks dahil kapag nagkakaroon ng uncertainty sa market, nagiging hedge ang gold. Tapos, since these mining stocks, yung minimina nila is gold, magbe-benefit daw sila, which I think is wrong. And gusto kong pag-usapan sa video na to kung bakit sa tingin ko hindi maganda yung effect ng current Middle East conflict sa mga gold mining stocks sa Pilipinas. So, I won't be talking about the PSEI chart because sa last time na gumawa ako ng stock market analysis video, napag-usapan ko na doon yung bias ko for the PSEI, tapos isang candle pa lang naman yung nakalipas since huli kong napag-usapan yun sa isang stock market analysis video. So, I still have the same thoughts regarding it. Pero sa stock market analysis video na to, before I talk about the individual stocks, I want to talk about the gold chart first. So, punta tayo sa chart ng gold. So, isa sa mga reasons kung bakit sobrang importante na masundan natin yung chart ng gold or specifically yung price ng gold dahil itong mga mining stocks na to, itong gold mining stocks, syempre yung minimina nila, 'di ba, na minerals or metals is gold nga mismo. So, ibig sabihin yan, kung tumataas yung price ng gold, that simply means magiging mataas yung possible revenue nila. Kasi mas mahal nila nabebenta yung mga products. So, inversely, ibig sabihin yan, kapag bumababa yung price ng gold, hindi siya maganda para sa mining stocks because bababa yung revenue nila dahil bumababa yung price nung binebenta nilang products. So, ano ba yung nakikita natin dito sa chart ng gold? So, sa first week ng March, nung kakasimula pa lang ng Middle East conflict, nakita natin na nagkaroon agad ng bentahan dito sa gold, no? Kasi before the conflict, yung price ng gold tumatapik halos sa 5.4, no? Tapos, nung nagsimula na yung conflict, nung binomba na ng US yung Iran, ito na yung candle na yon. So, nahulog siya kaagad. So, from the peak of gold, nung hindi pa nagsisimula yung gera, it's already down by negative 17%. So, hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan dito yung effect ng logistics pagdating sa oil supply. Hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan dito yung effect niya sa mga iba't ibang chemicals, 'di ba? So, gold pa lang yung pinag-uusapan natin. Tapos, it has already dropped by 17%. So, I just want you to keep that in mind, no, before ko pag-usapan yung mga individual stocks. So, ngayon, ano ba yung possible na maging support ng gold? So, kitang-kita naman natin na meron ditong previous swing low nung February 2, tapos around 4,410 yan. And nalalapit na siyang pumunta dito. And we can also see na may resistance na trend line yung gold. So, ito siya. So, this is the point A and this is the point B. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, magsiserve as resistance itong area na to, itong diagonal line na to, as the price of gold moves forward. So, mukhang mahirapan na ata yung gold na makabalik sa 5.2 or even 5.4 area kasi bukod dito sa resistance line na yan, meron siyang mga support previously na kung saan nag-breakdown siya. So, yung isa sa support line niya before, yung level ng 5,000, nabutas niya tapos may definite siyang breakdown nung March 18. Tapos, meron din siyang support dito na tweezer bottom nung Feb 17 nung 4,855 na level. So, nabutas niya rin. And then, finally, meron siyang temporary support dito dapat sa 4.6. Nabutas niya rin, no? So, pagkabutas, resist agad. Pagkabutas, resist ulit. So, it's already serving as resistances. So, that simply means before the price even reaches the diagonal resistance na ginagawa niyang upper part ng resistance trend line, kailangan lagpasan ng gold yung 4,654, yung 4,855, tapos yung 5,000 na level. So, isipin niyo yun, no? 4 na resistances before siya bumalik sa 5.4. So, in the event na mabutas ng gold yung 4,400 level na to, then next possible support, ito ulit, no, yung temporary support niya sa 4.2. And then, this level here sa 4.1. So, you could say that this is a strong support level sa area na yan. And pag hindi pa yan napigilan ng price level na yan, yung pagbaba, then ultimately, no, pwedeng umabot ng 3.922 yung price ng gold dahil dito siya huling nagkaroon ng major support level. So, ayan yung naging price ng gold for the past few weeks. So, ngayon, puntahan natin yung individual stocks na na-mention ko kanina. So, puntahan muna natin yung OGP. So, for OGP, kitang-kita natin na grabe yung binaba niya since the first week of March. So, it's also the effect, syempre, nung pagbaba ng gold prices. Nakita nga natin, di ba, more than 15%. And syempre, hindi naman ibig sabihin na nag-drop ng negative 15% yung gold. Yung drop ng mining stocks, 15% din, di ba? So, syempre, pwedeng more than, pwedeng mas maliit ng onte, or pwedeng mas madami. But in this case, halos namimic niya yung move ng drop, nasa negative 17%. So, ano ba yung isa pang rason kung bakit affected ng grabe yung mining stocks despite the drop in price ng gold? So, for the past few weeks, alam naman natin na dahil sa Middle East conflict, nagkakaroon ng supply issues pagdating sa oil, which of course has an effect pagdating sa logistics tapos energy. So, bababa na nga yung revenue ng mga mining stocks dahil bumababa yung gold. May isa pa silang problema, which is mag-i-increase yung expenses dahil mas magastos yung energy na ginagamit nila para makapag-continue ng operations nila or sa pagmimina, 'di ba? So, affected yung revenues, nagdi-decrease, tapos nag-i-increase yung expenses. So, syempre, nasi-squeeze yung margins nila, mas nagle-lessen yung profits or yung income. So, of course, you're going to expect that prices of the stocks are gonna drop or go lower. So, kung titingnan natin yung technicals ng OGP, meron siya actually magandang support dito sa 33, no? So, ayan siya. And nag-breakdown siya nung March 19, no, this last day of the trading week. So, nag-breakdown siya dyan. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung next na possible na support niya? Itong level na to, yung around 31. So, previous resistance yan na naging support dati nung January 2. So, kung magkakaroon pa ng drop in price ng gold or magda-drop further yung market, then ito yung nakikita akong temporary support for OGP, no? Yung 31 na price area. So, ibig sabihin, in order for OGP to move higher and above this 33 level, it's important na yung price ng gold tumaas at hindi pa bumaba, no? Kasi kung tumaas yung price ng gold, kung may magandang move sa gold, you can expect na magkakaroon din ng reaction itong OGP, kaya pwede siyang tumaas. So, halimbawa, tumaas yung price ng gold, ano yung mga possible areas kung saan magkakaroon ng resistance yung OGP? So, I think this level here is a significant one, yung 34.70 papuntang 35, kasi dyan siya nagkaroon ng gap eh. So, may malakas na selling dyan. So, para sa akin, ito yung R1 ko for OGP. Pero pag patuloy pa yung pagbaba ng prices na to, ito yung magiging R1 niya kasi automatic convert na to sa resistance. So, ito yung magiging R1, ito yung magiging R2. Pero since kaka-breakdown pa lang niya, pwede ko pang makonsider as support itong level na to. Pero ayun nga, pag bumaba pa siya further this coming trading week, then this could serve as the R1, tas ito yung R2. And meron tayo ditong very important area kung saan yan yung all-time high ng stock and also the 52-week high. So, you can either consider this as R2 or pwede siyang maging R3 if we're going to consider this level as another resistance, yung 38.27. Kasi may gap ulit siyang ginawa dyan nung kakasimula pa lang ng conflict, no? So, this could be your R2 if hindi niya magiging resistance to. Pero kung magiging resistance yan at i-consider natin na strong resistance tong gap, then that's R2 tapos ito yung R3. So, sa ngayon, pwede natin itong makonsider as potential S1 pag nag-support yung level tapos bumawi. And this level here is S2. So, ano yung mangyayari pag nagkaroon ng heavy selling pa? Saan pa yung next na support ng OGP kung let's say mahulog pa siya ng tuluyan? So, possible around 28.50. Ito yung pwedeng maging yung S3. And itong level na to, clearly may swing low. So, ito yung kanyang S4. So, pag patuloy yung pag-drop ng gold and walang nakikitang positivity sa overall markets, pwede pa talagang mahulog yung OGP. So, before I talk about the next individual stock, if bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, aside from doing stock market analysis video, I also talk about individual stocks ng mas comprehensive, and I call this video series as Goodbye or Goodbye. So, napag-usapan ko dyan previously, Globe, LTG, SEC, DMCI, Megawide, Wilcon. So, you can just go sa homepage ng channel ko and find those videos. So, if you're finding value sa video na to so far, sa channel na to, don't forget to like this video and subscribe sa channel so you'll always be updated sa future videos na i-upload ko pa. So, for the next stock, that's PX. So, for PX chart, nakikita nyo halos same yung galaw niya sa OGP. Nagkaroon lang din ulit ng gap down na open around this level. Kasi nga, grabe yung bentahan sa gold. And of course, since it's a gold mining stock, halos same yung naging galaw niya. As you can see, my previous support dapat dito sa 950 na area. So, ito yung support. Tapos, nag-breakdown siya, tas nabutas, no? And nakikita rin natin na merong gap around this level. So, automatically, this is the R1 resistance. And much like OGP, kapag bumawi yung price ng gold, tapos tumaas yung PX, pwede pa nating makonsider as support yung 950, no? Pwedeng i-consider as overshoot lang yung nangyari dito. So, lalagyan ko lang din ulit ng potential S1. So, ano yung next na potential support for PX? So, may nakikita ako ditong previous resistance niya. So, ito. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung pwede niya maging S2. Pero yung S3, medyo malalim na kasi andito na sa levels na to. So, nagkaroon siya ng double bottom sa short term. So, this could be your S3. And then, next support after that, andito na sa 7.33 na price area. So, ayan yung potential na S4, no? So, you can either look at it as potential S1 sa 950. Ito yung S2, S3, S4. And syempre, pag nag-resist na tong level na to, pag hindi na nakabawi yung PX dyan, syempre ito na yung S1, S2, and S3. So, I think if gold prices move higher, mahirapan pa rin yung PX kasi nakaharang agad yung 9.80 na price area along with the psych resistance ng 10. Pero let's assume lang na maging bullish lang tayo na malagpasan niya yan. Ano yung next na possible resistance? So, hindi very obvious around this level pero I can see na meron siyang maliit na swing high dati sa level na to. Pero I think minor resistance yung 11.48. But it could still act as a resistance, no? And temporary resistance din yung 11 kasi psych. So, ibig sabihin yung 11 to 11.48 medyo mahirap ng abutin, no? Lalo na kung hindi naman gagalaw yung gold prices. And much like OGP, yung pinaka-major resistance talaga niya is yung 52-week high din niya. So, ito siya, yung 12.26. So, 9.80 papuntang 10, you could consider that as R1 already. Tapos, ito yung 11, 11.48, and 12.26 as the next possible resistance for PX. So, for the next stock, that's APX. So, for APX, halos same lang din, no? Nakikita nyo din yung theme. Meron siyang support, tapos nabutas niya dahil sa malakas na bentahan. And yung gap along with the support na nabasag will act as the resistance. So, for APX, yung 14.43 resistance yan ngayon. And after that, you can treat 15.86 as a possible resistance. So, may swing high dito. Pero para sa akin, significant na resistance yung level na to kasi may gap, tapos may swing high. 16.70 to 16.84. So, I might consider this as R2. Tapos, yung kanyang all-time high dito sa 18, yan yung R3. So, ito yung temporary resistance sa 15.86 or minor. So, you can treat it as R1, minor resistance, tapos R2 and R3, or R1, R2, R3, R4. So, ngayon, ano yung next na possible support for APX? Meron ditong level kung saan previous resistance siya. So, ito yung S1. And then, this level here, S2. So, kitang-kita naman, swing low siya dyan. And then, possible around this level ulit, previous resistance, tapos nag-support nung first week December. So, S3. And another thing to look out for sa APX, meron siyang X-date sa April 14. So, that's 1.62% plus 2.43. So, on the announcement date, nasa 4% yung div rate niyan. So, halimbawa, maglaro yung prices sa level na to and mag-drop siya ng 4%. So, ibig sabihin, pwede talaga niyang mabutas yung S1, no? Sa level ng X-date na yan. So, pag halimbawa, nabutas niya tong S1, let's say, malakas talaga yung bentahan ng gold, and at these price levels, nabutas siya at nag 4% drop dahil sa X-date. So, pwede pa talaga siyang pumunta dito sa 12.84. So, sa short term pala, pwedeng umabot ng 13 yung price ng APX papunta dito sa 12 kung hindi magkakaroon ng recovery sa price ng gold or kung hindi magkakaroon ng bullishness sa overall market conditions, no? So, sa kanilang tatlo, halos same yung fate nila, halos same yung galaw. For the three of them, hindi talaga maganda if gold prices continue to go lower because that will decrease further yung revenue ng gold mining stocks na to. Tapos double whammy kasi nag-increase yung expenses nila because of the Middle East conflict. So, in order for these gold mining stocks to go back to previous levels, kailangan gumanda yung galaw ng chart ng gold, no? And magkaroon ng de-escalation sa gera in order for the logistics of oil supply to improve, tapos bumaba yung presyo ng oil, which of course will lead to decreased energy prices and decreased expenses ng mga gold mining stocks na to. So if you haven't watched yung mga videos ko talking about specific stocks, you can click towards the upper right. Stock market lesson videos sa bottom right. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you always be updated sa future videos na i-upload ko pa.